We had just witnessed one of the best cards, one of the best pay-per-views of 2025. We had UFC 311, which was amazing. We had UFC 313, which wasn't stacked like name value wise, but or the quality of names, but the fights turned out good on that card. Then UFC 314, banger of a pay-per-view, and then UFC 319 lived up to the hype. I will kind of say UFC 317 was also pretty banging. But this takes the cake in my opinion. Okay, I want to talk about all these fights from top to bottom. Well, not all these fights, because there were some fights. Well, actually, a lot of fights I didn't watch, but there were some fights where I still had a prediction of the outcome. I just didn't put them out there on YouTube because I don't typically talk about the prelims unless they're that big of a deal. But there are some fighters on here I never heard of, right? Um, but I mean, dude, the main event lived up to the hype. Okay, Hamzot went out there, did his thing, absolutely crushed Dricus Duplessis, dog walked him for 5 rounds. Like I predicted, and I know my main card breakdown and prediction, you'll see me picking Dricus by decision, but then you'll also see my other YouTube video where I said Dricus Duplessis might be cooked, and I'm starting to doubt my Dricus prediction. That was for a reason, because I started to wake up and realize, wait a minute, I don't think Hamzat's cardio is that bad, or I think it actually might improve. Dricus Duplessis has 50% takedown defense. Got taken down by Robert Whitaker. Out wrestled by Brunson. I'm like, dude, there's no way he's stopping the wrestling of Hamzat. Just no way. I knew Hamzat Chimaev was going to go out there, do his thing. Now, could he do it for 5 rounds? I mean, that was kind of like, that was yet to be determined whether he could keep that up from the first to the fifth, but I kind of had faith. I was like a little bit worried, but I mean, dude, look at these stats. 529 total strikes to Dricus Duplessis 45. Absolutely smoked him. Dricus like got one takedown. Hamzat got 12. 12 out of 17 or something like that. Yeah. Dude, 71% takedown success rate in this fight. That's insane. That is insane. I mean, these stats, it's completely lopsided. From the first round, Duplessis only landed 3 strikes, 0 takedowns, 1 sub attempt. Round 2, I mean, same thing. Same thing. It was a landslide literally every round. I don't even need to commentate over that. You can just see it on the screen. Same thing every round. The only round that was scary was the 5th round because Mark Goddard was biased and wanted Duplessis to win and tried to rig the outcome by standing them up when Hamzat was literally working. Hamzat was literally active, and he tried to stand them up, take Hamzat out of his goddamn element, which almost costed him the fight because Hamzat was tired when he tried to go for another takedown. Duplessis was able to defend, got the back, and almost fucking choked him out. But luckily, Hamzat just didn't let that happen, bro. Hamzat was destined to be the champion. Okay, there was no way Mark Goddard was going to mess this up. But great performance by Hamzat Chimaev, man. And then Lerone Murphy, Aaron Pico. I mean, what can I say? I called this fight. I mean, I didn't call the knockout. Like, I did pick Lerone to win. I just didn't think that Lerone Murphy was going to win by first round KO. I thought he'd win a safe decision. I thought he'd sort of just shut down Pico's offense and just frustrate him, pick him apart, defend takedowns. But actually, how that fight played out was he was not able to shut down Pico's offense. Pico was able to just go out there and tag Lerone, hit Lerone, catch him clean, hurt him early, take him down multiple times, land good shots to the body. Like, this was a great performance by Pico. But then Lerone Murphy out of nowhere landed a spinning back elbow KO. And it was so sad to watch because even though I didn't think Pico would win, I was definitely rooting for Pico. I did want to see him succeed. I did want to see him win his UFC debut. And that's such a rough way to lose your UFC debut by a highlight reel brutal knockout. Pico's going to need some time off, and I think the UFC, they need to give him a favorable matchup. They can't give him another killer in like the top 10 if they want him to win in the UFC. If they don't want him to end up like Kai Azakura, who's 0-2 in the UFC, which we're going to get to in a moment. But Lerone Murphy he killed the whole Lerone is boring narrative because his last few fights have been decisions, right? But he does have the ability to finish guys too. But I just think a lot of us, including me, just kind of lost sight of that. But last night he showed he's not only a decision guy. If you force Lerone into a dogfight, if you make this guy fight, he will be dangerous and he can hurt you. And before the spin elbow, he caught Pico with the elbow coming in, a traditional elbow, and then Pico took him down. But that elbow did buzz Pico a little bit. Then he kneed Pico, not in the chin, but in the chest. I think those were two warning signs that Pico didn't listen to. He didn't take his foot off the gas for just a split second. He's like, nah, I'm just going to overwhelm this guy. And he got a little too overzealous. And unfortunately, that led to his downfall. But do you think Lerone Murphy is ready for a title shot? I think so. Volkanovski said, see you in December. Let's go. Let's make that fight. Sorry, Evloev. I guess you got to fight someone else. You might got to take one more fight before fighting Volk. I mean, it always should have been Masvidal, but it doesn't help his case that Masvidal's last fight was a close decision win against Aljamain Sterling versus Lerone, who his win was a knockout, a highlight reel brutal KO. That is how you earn a title shot, and honestly, I think Volk will beat Lerone, but I would not be shocked if Lerone Murphy won. Lerone Murphy's got the height, the reach, the range, the striking. He just needs to have perfect takedown defense because Volkanovski is going to wrestle Lerone Murphy. He's going to wrestle him, and Volkanovski's not going to pressure him the same way Pico did. Like, Volkanovski isn't going to rush. I mean, he'll pressure, but it's going to be calculated pressure. He's not going to walk into traps of Lerone. I think Lerone is going to struggle with Volkanovski's defense and feints and speed. Volkanovski's not going to be easy to get out of there like that. So I think Volkanovski's going to beat him by decision, give him his first loss. But Lerone could win. Volkanovski's getting up there in age. He's taking a lot of damage. And I will not count out Lerone. That's all I'm going to say. I'm so sad for Pico, though. I wish he could have won or at least not gone out like that, man. It's so sad to see. But then Jeff Neal, Carlos Prates. I mean, the fight went exactly how I thought it would go. I thought that Jeff Neal would get knocked out. A lot of people picked Prates to win by decision. I don't know why. I don't know why people thought Prates wasn't going to get him out of there. Like, Jeff Neal, I mean, statistically speaking, he actually showed to have better defense than Prates, which surprised me because in the fight, that didn't turn out to be accurate. But Prates can KO anyone in the world. Anyone he can land clean on, he'll put to sleep. And I knew that the shots that he couldn't hit Ian Gary with, he would be able to hit Jeff Neal with them, and Jeff just wouldn't be able to take it. I just thought the fight would go 2 rounds. Now, what I was right about, I was absolutely correct that Jeff Neal would have success. I predicted that he would make Carlos struggle with his speed, with his footwork, with his blitzes, with his combinations, and that is exactly what happened. Jeff Neal fought a very solid fight against Prates. But what I did say Prates would do is he'd be very patient, and I said he'd work the legs of Jeff Neal, work the calves, work the body, and that's exactly what he did. He kept chopping at the calves of Jeff Neal, landing these stepping in knees to the body, hooks to the body of Jeff Neal, and I thought, okay, this is going to add up to round 2, and plus, towards the end of round 1, Carlos Prates started finding more success in the striking and started taking over fully and started adapting. I'm like, okay, round 2, Jeff Neal's cooked. But then right at the bell, Carlos Prates lands a big spinning back elbow KO. And it's crazy how 2 fights back-to-back had spinning back elbow KOs. I mean, this main card was amazing. But yeah, man, wow. I thought that Carlos Prates landed a shuffle, like stepping in left hook or something. I mean, the screen that I was viewing the fights from at Boston Pizza, the shading was pretty bad, the lighting was pretty bad because of where I was sitting. So that's probably why I misread the knockout and thought it was a hook. But I'm just going to say, if that was a stepping in hook he KO'd Jeff Neal with, I think that would have been even more impressive than just the spinning back elbow. And I'm not trying to say the spinning back elbow wasn't impressive, because it was very impressive. Very impressive. And now Carlos Prates is back in the win column. He bounced back from the loss to Ian Machado Gary. And of course, Ian on his Instagram is flexing his wins over Carlos and MVP because he beat both of them and both just won on the same night. But yeah, I knew Prates would win because I said Jeff Neal, even though he's solid, he's a veteran, he always loses to the up-and-comers, the prospects of the division. He might beat fellow veterans or he might beat journeymans, but unfortunately Jeff Neal will never beat the up-and-coming guys. He already got destroyed by Shavkat Rakhmonov, got shut down by Ian Gary, and then the same thing happened against Carlos Prates. So I figured he was going to lose this fight. I just knew that Jeff Neal's striking wasn't on the level of Prates' striking. But now, Jared Cananer versus Michael Venom Paige. Yeah, I mean, this fight went exactly how I knew it would go. I knew that Michael Paige would just absolutely clown Jared Cananer. I mean, a lot of people were picking Jared to win this fight. Maybe not a lot of people. I don't want to exaggerate. But a lot of people I talked to were saying Jared might win this fight. The Weasel, I think, picked Jared Cananer. Said he'd ground and pound TKO him in round 3, which honestly wasn't a far-fetched prediction because round 3 MVP slipped. Jared capitalized, ended up on top, but wasn't able to do anything. But that could have gone really bad. But the first 2 rounds, it was just MVP doing what MVP does. Dancing, showboating, staying long, using that distance management, using his speed to his advantage, confusing Jared with his feints. And Jared just couldn't get a rhythm. Got dropped twice in the first round and the second round. Clear win for Michael Venom Paige. And why I knew Jared Cananer would lose this fight is because Jared Cananer always struggles with really good strikers. Okay? Dominic Reyes, a high-level elite kickboxer, destroyed Jared Cananer in the first round. I mean, I know maybe Reyes didn't have a background in kickboxing professionally, or maybe he did. You guys can remind me or, fact check me in the comment section if you want. But Reyes is a really good striker, and Jared Cananer struggled, and when he tried to close the distance on Reyes, he got knocked out. Sean Strickland is bum juice, but Sean Strickland is a good boxer. Jared barely beat him by a split decision. And Robert Whittaker, a high-level, elite-level striker, shut down and picked apart Jared Cananer. Israel Adesanya, same thing, was known at one point in time to be the best striker in the UFC, let alone the best striker in the middleweight division. Now, times have changed. Izzy is no longer that guy, but when he was, Izzy did to him what he did to everyone else. So I added up the math and I'm like, there's no way Cananer's going to win this fight unless he wrestles Michael Paige, which, you know what? He actually did try in the early rounds. But Michael Paige was able to get the underhooks, stay upright against the cage, and not allow Jared to just pick him off his feet and hold him down. The only round, or the only moment where Jared was able to stall on top was when MVP slipped, doing one of his jump blitzes that he always does. And sometimes, by doing that, he'll slip off balance, as we saw when he fought Douglas Lima in 2019. But shout out to Douglas Lima. I mean, we're all saying how good is Ian Gary. How good is Douglas Lima, bro? Arguably beat Michael Paige twice. Arguably could have won the second fight. And the first fight, he had a great game plan and put Paige to sleep. And no one knocks out Michael Venom Paige. Not even Jared Cananer, the former heavyweight, against a former welterweight. It's just a damn shame we never saw Douglas in the UFC. I think he could have done well in his prime. But I don't want to make this video about Douglas Lima, but I knew this would happen. Sadly, though, I just don't think that Michael Page is going to do well in the middleweight division. I don't think he beats any of the top dudes. People are saying book him and Adesanya. It's not happening. They're boys. If he fights Whitaker, Whitaker will grapple and Whitaker will win. If he fights Nasruddin Imavov will grapple and will win. If he fights Kyle Barajo will grapple and win and probably finish him. If he fights Sean Strickland, honestly, Sean might grapple him and win. Honestly, I can't see... Oh, dude, if he fights Rainer D. Ritter, he loses. If he fights Paulo Costa, he loses. Because Costa has really good grappling and can take him down. So, I think if anything, Michael Page should go back to the welterweight division. That's where he'll have more success. Now, I think Prates called out Michael Page. I'm not sure. Because at the press conference, I heard Michael Page talk about a matchup with Prates in Brazil. So if anything, Michael Page should probably take that fight, go back down to welterweight, forget the middleweight division. These guys are too big. They're too strong. Jared was the perfect matchup, but everyone else will beat you. Honestly, I don't even know if MVP will beat Prates, to be honest. That might be another Douglas Lima kind of loss, but we'll see. And then this one really pissed me off, man. Tim Elliott, Kai Azakura. God damn it, Kai. God damn it. I had faith in you. I had faith in you, Kai. I thought you would win your second fight in the UFC against a journeyman in Tim Elliott, which, look, Tim is a solid journeyman. He's tough. But this is a fight that Azakura should have been able to win. This was a step down from Pantoja, and early on, Azakura was looking amazing. Azakura was dominating the striking. And then, one takedown at the end of round 1, I think, shot Kai's confidence. Then round 2, Kai stopped striking. Then got taken down. Then got mounted. Then got guillotined. Didn't even try to fight the hands. Didn't even try to escape or move. He just sat there like an idiot and got tapped out. And now he's 0-2 in the UFC. 2 second-round submission losses. He might as well see himself out of the promotion now and look at the UFC as a failed detour in his career. And now this just further hurts Pantoja's resume because Pantoja, one of his title defenses was against a bum who had no business being in the UFC. I don't know what they're going to do with Kai Azakura, man. I mean, maybe third time will be a charm with the right matchup, but... yeah, I'm not happy about it, and I went 4-1 on the main card. I was only wrong about this fight, Kai and Tim. I was right about Jared and MVP. I was right about Prates and Neal. I was right about Murphy and Pico. I would have been wrong about Dricus and Hamzot if I stuck to my original pick, but I switched last minute on time. And then the prelims, I actually went to the bathroom during Eric Nolan and Bazangor Surakayev. And I'm glad that Hamzat's guy won. I'm glad that his guy won. Because I felt, bro, if Hamzat's guy loses, it's going to be a bad omen and it might lead to Chimaev losing too. You know? Because usually when you got 2 teammates on the same card or 2 friends on the same card, and the friend who fights prior loses, their guy or girl loses later. Like, for example, UFC 274, when Rose lost, Gaethje lost. UFC 290, when Moreno lost, Yair lost. UFC, what was I going to say? 312. Strickland and Tatiana are from the same gym. They're friends. They support each other. When Tatiana lost, Strickland lost. So I was kind of worried, and Eric Nolan was kind of doing all right, and I think he rocked Khamzat's boy. I can't pronounce his, I can't spell his name, so I'm just going to say Khamzat's boy. He rocked him late round 1, and I was worried. Then I was in the bathroom. In round 2, and I missed the finishing sequence, but I heard that Hamzat's boy got a second round sub, so I'm happy about it. I picked Hamzat's guy to win. I also picked against Gerald Mearshart. Even though I did no tape study, I hardly watched this dude's fights, Michael Zaishuk. I've seen more Gerald Mearshart. I just kind of rolled with the vibes. And I feel like I've seen maybe enough tape on Michel to kind of know, or Mikhail, however you spell his name, to know that he would beat a guy like Gerald Mearshart. Because Gerald Mearshart just kind of sucks. And then Jessica Andrade, Lupita Godinez. I was kind of unsure about this matchup. I figured Lupita would win, but I'm not surprised that she struggled to win, though. Like, Andrade made it a tough fight. Andrade lost the first round being tagged up, outstruck, and then, like, round 2, Lupita Godinez was able to work her grappling, get a takedown. Then round 3, Andrade wins that round. A lot of pressure. Lupita started slowing down, started taking damage, getting tagged up. But Lupita wins this fight 2-1. I don't really think Lupita Godinez is going to do well at the top of the division at strawweight. I mean, she already lost to 2 top-tier girls like Dern and Jandy Roba. I don't think she'd do any better in rematches. I don't think she'd beat Lemos, most likely. I don't think she'd beat Tatiana. Definitely doesn't beat Tatiana. Not ready for the champion Zhang Wei Li. Like, if you're not smoking Jessica Andrade, I'm sorry. I can't look at you like you're the next big thing in the division. But at the same time, Dern got sparked by Andrade, and who knows? Dern could be a future champion. You can never count someone out like Dern. But yeah, Jessica Andrade is just washed up. She's not the same fighter. She still has power. She's still tough. But she's not as athletic as she used to be. Not as strong as she used to be. Just not as elite as she used to be. Her body is failing her. And her game is just, it's figured out. And she's not even that old either. Isn't she like, what, 31, 32? It's just the sport is evolving and she's just been around for a long time. So, yeah, I don't know what Jessica's going to do, but wow, now she's got 15 losses, bro. She has officially entered journeywoman status. I mean, she's already been a journeywoman, but if you thought she was a journeywoman before, just look at now. Then Chase Hooper, Hernandez. I got this one wrong. I thought that Chase Hooper would win. Hernandez knocked him out. Good win by Alexander Hernandez. Sometimes I get him and Anthony Hernandez mixed up by names. I thought Barboza would win this fight against Ricard Close, and he fumbles. I didn't watch the fight. I didn't watch Karine Silva versus Deanna Barboza, but I knew Karine would win. I thought Barboza would win, was wrong. I did not know who either of these dudes were, so no prediction. So I guess overall on the card, let's see what fights did I get right and what fights did I get wrong. So 4-1 on the main card, then on the prelims, let's see, right. So 3 right so far in the prelims. Wrong. So 2 wrong, 4 right. So I'd say I went 3-8 on this card. 3-8 if we're not counting the first fight. I might be miscounting. If you guys are watching this video, you can correct my math on this one. But yeah, great card. Satisfied with the main event. Satisfied with the whole main card except for the main card opener. Azakura is a bum. Yeah. I mean, all around great night of fights. It lived up to the hype. And I'm looking forward to the next pay-per-view, UFC 320. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe, and peace out.